Hey you guys, what's up? So nice to see everyone. I am so grateful for today, and I just wanted to take a break. We're at a more swim class again, and just thank people that have tuned in and that have supported Cordoba Organics, and that are also just grateful for this type of dialogue. I didn't want to mention moms and kidnapping without really qualifying or quantifying why. And really it's just to say that I don't know when this became popular. I don't know when moms decided that it was cooler to have another man raise their children other than the person that they created that life force with. And I think because it's something that we experienced so long ago, it really gave me some wisdom about how to stay out of people's business, how to not be there for other people's kids. And I didn't think that that was right. You know, if you see something, you say something. If you can do something, you contribute. But it just taught me a lot. A lot of moms will keep their children from their dads simply because they don't want the father's influence to be considered or to be a part of the mix. Camera A. Camera B, they don't want to share. Sharing a child is like, I don't know, something that's very difficult for some people to do. And that, again, is something that we just need to pay attention to in our communities. Guys that date women who are single moms really ask questions. Hey, is the father alive? Does the child get to see the dad? What's your relationship like? Some of these women are creating just horrible relationships with their baby's dads simply to have something to busy themselves with, simply to stay relevant. Like, I think a lot of women do certain things because they feel like this is the tool that will connect me to at least having some power or having some control. But again, after, you know, being around the results of this, being around just his daughter, because again, it's been about 15 years and his son still hasn't visited us. His son still doesn't feel comfortable, and that's okay. We have to like where our children are in their growth and development and try to encourage it. But at the same token, you know, it's difficult to sometimes support someone loving somebody that is extremely abusive to their own growth and development. And women that keep their children from their fathers are abusing their children. Unless that man is an abuser, a pedophile, a rapist, you do not want to negate a man's role in your child's life. Just like last week, you know, you guys heard him more call for daddy. Some people, he always calls for daddy because daddy is the right hand. It's the person that gives him courage. It's somebody that makes him feel proud. Mommy's does that too, but just because daddy does something doesn't necessarily mean that the mommy needs to reiterate what the mommy does well. That to me is like a sign of someone who isn't comfortable with their role. But again, my thing right now is just to consistently share and stay focused on what I like doing, which is including herbs and magical properties of herbs. And you know, last week someone came to Miami and it was just a reminder for me to turn the volume up. I turned the volume down on all the magical properties with stuff because I don't want to come off weird. I don't want to come off like it's just me that believes in the properties of dill and basil and, like, you know, vetiver. So I tried creating not only Cordoba Organics, but creating stuff that could make it tangible and handheld and say, okay, I might not believe in anise and the power of anise seeds, but let me try this little anise rub. The reason why I put anise in our crown is because anise also stimulates cerebral follicle growth, but cerebral memory, and it allows us to calm down at night, and it connects our cortices. Same thing with spearmint, the spearmint thyme. It's spearmint time because, of course, TYME, it represents THYME, but also spearmint is a very good circulatory herb and amazing properties for opening, for protection, for drawing energy, prosperity energy. And I wanted to do something that would remind us of all the things that even I get, you know, turn it down, it's kind of zany, it's not something that everybody will, but that's my job, is to make things that people forget a little bit more tangible. So this is just grapefruit and lemon. I literally can drink it. Let me show you this. The linoleic, the properties in this alone aren't only good for one's face, but I've been really on my quinine, making my own homemade quinine, because it's so good for bacterial health. And right after Aseer and I got a little, colds, you can hear I sound a little stronger this week, but it's really just rest. And again, I had to be honest, I wasn't juicing every morning like my kale and my celery. So I went on my juice cleanse for a week. I started doing all boiling my just little stuff, my marjoram, my hawthorn, my mullein, my basil leaves, my dill, just to get the properties back into my body that I know I'm kind of sleeping on. And again, when you start doing a business or a podcast, I don't know if other women find it that they're not exercising, they're not cooking. I didn't want all those things to fall off in my life. And I'm just noticing this lady behind me is hella loud. So I'm talking a little louder because today is we're just all gonna talk and be popping. But you can literally, I'm gonna make this into a face spray. It's amazing for just closing your pores, creating some free radicals and some vitamin C and a natural sunscreen. It also will lighten little spots and all that stuff. But this is just straight grapefruit peels and lemon peel. And when you peel a grapefruit or lemon, you want to keep the nape, the navel, the eye of it included in everything, because the properties in peels are so high in carotenoids and in vitamins and in all the words that are tongue twisters for me. They're so good for us. So I didn't want any skimping. And that's why I started Cordoba Organics. I really wanted gallons of argan oil, a lot of thyme, huge amounts of vetiver. I wanted my hair products not to have shea butter or beeswax or anything really thick in it, because I want everything to melt in my hair. For those that have asked, none of my hair is extended. Nothing is, not to diss people that have extended, none of it is fake. Even the one that came off when I slammed the car door in my hair in the car door and I'm moving a little, Aseer was just sew it back in. Don't throw and pull it. This is the only one that I had to kind of sew back in a little. Other than that front one, it's my hair, of course. But other than that, all of my hair is my hair. I don't have any extensions. I don't have any, ay Dios mío, puñeta. I don't have any extensions, anything. So I'm very grateful, because trust you me, I went through feeling like I had to cut it for a job or an interview or to be taken seriously. I was like, I don't want to feel like I have to adjust or alter my crown. So again, thank you to those that are your shit is dope. It's nice to see new growth, and they're really free-formed locks because there's nothing in it that's tying anything down, and I still really wanted to see my crown. Ay, perdón. Mami, you can talk, papi. Ay, Dios mío.
Last time
I gotta keep talking loud and just talk over these distractions. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's it.
And the last time we were talking about just the results of our children, he's so dope because he shared so much of his private life. And again, because I've never been with anybody else but him, I'm really grateful that he was honest about the things that he learned in his last relationship and saying, look, I don't need 4 breasts and 2, vaginas. I don't need that. I was committed to that because I thought that that's what was committed to me. But once you discover someone is acting or trying to do something for an effect, you want to free them up so they don't feel imprisoned or you're putting them through something.
Exactly.
So that's for that camera. The next camera is, we must have gotten 80 emails about what happened last week with one of the people that y'all considered to be great leaders, or y'all considered part of a conscious community. I don't even feel that exists anymore, because I witnessed in 2008, right around the time Aseer started doing a lot of lectures, I witnessed how many other entities came on the scene to distract and to cause confusion. And regardless to how many people are aware of the entity now and are oh, we need to get rid of this leader. Y'all were on his Dillsnick so hard. Y'all stress things that have no content so much. And I say y'all because that's what got all the numbers. Don't think that we didn't see, you know, certain people's channels boost up and these people become semi like thousandaires or close to millionaires from just sharing negative bullshit, propaganda, stuff that would get people to not believe in conscious anything. That's what y'all supported. Y'all supported the liar. You supported the pimp. You supported the cheater. You supported the hustler. You supported the one that wants his woman in fishnets in the wintertime. Like, I'm all for freedom of look and beauty. I'll wear a thong on the beach, but I'm not gonna wear fishnets in the winter because that's just a whore's uniform. We all know that. Or open-toe shoes. Like, I saw certain things in 2009 and laughed because the community at B propped these people up to be not only leaders, but y'all couldn't see that he was running a sex scam or running like a escort service, a prostitution. If it took y'all 10 years and what happened to this little girl to happen in order for the veil to be lifted, well then I gotta say, thank God the veil is lifted. I'm sorry that it had to go down through the innocence of a child, but who's to say this woman didn't set him up? Who's to say this woman wasn't in on it? No woman gonna let their child out at any hour of the night. Not even a 13-year-old. I have a 13-year-old. No 13 or 14-year-old, nobody is coming to pick him or her up to take them anywhere.
Especially out here in
Miami,
which is the sex trafficking,
prostitution, escort
capital of the country. Like, for whatever they tell you and they not going to tell you. I live out here. We've been living out here for the past 13 years, B.
That's all there is.
And everybody is
selling.
Home. Everybody's home. From
their children.
From the Ashkenazims to the Rastas to the conscious people to the Christians to the Cubans. It don't matter. There's something about this environment or this state that breeds chicks to want to just be out here on some just prostitution shit. I don't know what it is, but it's been prevalent for a long time. So when I was hearing stuff about, oh well, they had to go somewhere and then they had to wait for the call for the other party.
Oh, the sex
like,
party.
Oh, that's the sex ritual party that they be throwing around the time. They was really heavy out here around the Art Basel shit. That's when it was really popular. But from what I'm understanding, this is a big part of the economy also in this state. So you gotta be leery, especially when you're dealing with a state or a place that's specifically like a nightlife type culture, because so much stuff be happening. What's up, buddy?
It's all good.
So much stuff be happening that people put themselves in extraneous circumstances and then wonder, boom, how we get here. But the thing is, they got here, or this whole thing happened, because people in the community were enamored with the sexual side of what was being presented, and then that was used as a lure, as almost as a means to get everybody to turn a blind eye to the shit that you're actually seeing take place in front of you.
Y'all didn't want to see it though.
Being that we were the first people to step away from the whole cipher from the very, very beginning, you know what I'm saying? And I saw a lot of dirty shit up front. And whenever we was dealing with it or was attacked by it or whatever, through the whole circumstance, we would go on the platform that we generated and created to let y'all know. So if you go back to Super Haywood Radio, on Blog Talk Radio, there's over 7 years worth of a play-by-play of everything that everybody's acting like they just so appalled with and shit now. We have been busting this shit out. But at the same time, I'm not here and she's not here to make...
Stop anybody's hustle.
Not stop anybody's hustle too, but also to constantly comment on what
somebody else is doing.
Like, if everybody else don't see that this nigga was full of shit,
then that's on them.
But I'm not gonna sit here and make tapes specifically about the nigga and all this type of stuff, whatever.
I can't even give that name
some of that attention to me. I don't need the attention that bad.
I don't need
to
the
be
fame.
famous that bad.
I
don't need people to be talking about what I could do or who I could do it with that bad. Like, don't even be thinking about, like, if you thinking when you think of me, I don't want you to put me in the context of me and any of these other niggas, because I don't know them. And I worked specifically to skirt every circumstance that would have put me in a position to have to deal with one of these type of niggas, despite all of the little things that they was doing out there to try to draw me out to involve myself in that type of shit. But one thing I know is that if I can't control nothing else in this life, I can control myself. And I had to learn how to deal with the constant berating of my ego by people who were specifically trying to put people like that in my face.
To be like, ha, he's winning,
See, he doing
you're
this.
losing,
You need to be more
you're not
like
about
that.
the people.
You need to be this, this, and that. So now that all of this has come full circle,
Praise Allah.
what I also want to let people know is that the conscious community did not start on the internet, man.
No, it didn't.
The conscious community did not start on the internet. It started years before people even realized it. Like, I didn't even realize I was in the conscious community until one day somebody coined it as that. And when I asked, well, what is it? What is that? They said, it's this, nigga. We in it. And I started to realize, like, oh, yes, this is what it's supposed to be. Because we represent that aspect of the mainstream so-called global black populace that's actually leading the subconscious mind in the so-called black communities around the world and shit like that.
And they didn't like
that.
They
looking at us.
And they didn't like that.
You dig what I'm saying? So they could say whatever they want. They could call us, because you know the Africans be hating on us too. They call us Ubakus, Abaku. Wait, is it Abaku? It's either Abaka. They call us Abakas. The Arabs, they call us Abids. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got all of these fake little, like, bullshit names for us, because in the end, they all hating. They all hating for the fact that we are the ones that dictate the trends for the world. Even though we're dejected, even though a lot of our people in this country is at the bottom, even though half of these niggas is under brainwash, mind control, or the state or whatever, we are still the most looked at, the most talked about, the most everybody revered, the most copied, the most exalted. And if we was to ever really accept that for ourselves as to who we are, none of them would be able to stop us. But I say all of that to say, stop coming to the Johnny come lately niggas to this so-called conscious community stuff, and start going back to the real, man. Like, for instance, like, big up and rest in power, brother Arnold, brother Eugene Arnold L, man. That's one of the stable. When I think of the conscious community, I think of that elder.
He always came up to us when a lot of this stuff first started and was like, you know, I see what y'all are doing, and y'all really, it's going to take maybe another 12, 20 years for y'all, because y'all really real, and y'all niggas ain't about cheating nobody. And he was the first one, mind you, I never had a baby shower, nobody ever. He was the first dude that just brought me a garbage bag full of clean clothes, baby clothes, and was like, you know, here goes some baby clothes. And it floored me. This stranger who would show me more kindness than my own birth father.
From the first lecture I did out there.
And so that's one person, but also, you know, we got to still shout out people that are forgotten, because all these young entities came on the scene to really not only disrespect, but let me tell you, don't think that the elders, certain elders in our conscious community, weren't so saddled up right next to, this guy, and he's amazing, and look at his
look
drawing,
at the elders and shit. You gotta look at the niggas that was supporting this nigga, B.
And you know why?
Look at them niggas, man.
I really started doing a knowledge to certain elders who not only don't have good relationships with their children, but would allow their children to do stuff that supports government propaganda, and also constantly want to align themselves with people that are famous. Do you know how many times that I could have had a real one-on-one conversation with people like Erykah Badu or somebody like Lauryn Hill, but there was always someone else cock-blocking or being like, ooh, y'all seeing Aseer and Selena? Let me whisk you away. And they were successful at it, because, again, I don't like being around people that only want to suck and cast favor of famous people. Like, famous people, I'm sure, don't want to be stressed every second. But again, when I notice certain conscious women that y'all think are leaders just because they wrap their turbans well and have wrote a couple books and don't follow nothing in the book, don't have any of their children follow any of the thing, but it was a hustle. I learned, wow, this woman who has all of this in Brooklyn, is hustling these young people, is hustling these young folk because she has a space to hustle. She has a son that looks like he's about what she teaches. You know, these elders are just as much to blame because they crown these youth. They crown, oh, look at the brother, him and his consciousness. No, you aligned yourself, mother.
You thought this nigga was getting money.
You aligned yourself because you thought this guy was famous. You saw him around Floyd Mayweather. You saw him around Busta Rhymes. And y'all niggas thought he was smart. Like, it's so sad that the intellectual property of people is literally compared to who they are famous,
who they sit next to,
and who famous friend co-sign. You know how many famous people want to do work, but if Most doesn't pick up the phone, it ain't for us to always call him and be like, hey, did you do? Hey, if he's interested, he'll call us back. If the other famous people that have great careers from being musicians or actors want whatever it is that we do, then they'll align themselves with us. It's not for us to constantly stress and to put people on pedestals because you see them with material wealth. Like, these are what y'all supported in the community.
Whether it's in Africa or whether it's in here in the States, wherever there's melanated people that's like celebrity status or whatever, these are the ones that the powers that be use as window
Anchors.
Dressings,
yes,
as tablecloths for their agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And these niggas have no integrity. Anybody telling you to poison yourself with an experimental situation that you won't really see the efficacy effects of it for another
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. So they want you to kill yourself now because they know that most likely you'll be dead, so you ain't gonna be able to come back
for no
and hit them up for no
suit.
class action liability, whatever. And the only people really indemnified with the situation that have no liability with it is everybody else except you. So everybody else is trying to get you to accept something that is a literal poison and will give you no compensation, no nothing when it kills you and all of that. But they also have convinced people that healthy people are making people sick. This is how sick this society is. And the fact that we have reached the point of almost a singularity or an entropy where things that had no substance, things that had no matter, things that had no atomic weight, all of a sudden now are being taken seriously as if they do. And this is all a culmination for us to see that this whole thing that we see as this fake reality is breaking apart at the seams and destroying itself. And we should be rejoicing at this time.
Yes, we should be. And that's
those
really
of us that's not caught up with the brainwash and so caught up in
the numbers and the fame and the material.
We're supposed to be happy right now. We're supposed to be really rejoicing that all these niggas is dropping dead and that we don't have no thing. The other day I know it was the end when I saw this clip of a Luciferian, this black Luciferian nigga who was bigging up the Christians who were a part of the progressive movement for moving Lucifer's agenda forward. And he giving names, pastors and stuff like that. So when the Luciferians is bigging up the Christians for helping them,
obviously there's a connection.
You already know that the whole thing is over. Like as much as we grew up with what's happening with the Taliban and all that, like this is gonna lead to this guy being impeached because he basically funded a terrorist state with United States taxpayer money. So whether it's a theater op or real op or not, this is the shit that's been going on while y'all been focusing in while you've been focusing on this pedophile and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the next thing, like a distracting energy.
Yeah, they distracting you with this situation when literally you got Russia and China now basically linking up because they want to now support this totalitarian, fake Muslim, CIA-backed Taliban government. You dig what I'm saying? Which then means that everybody that went over there to fight for the so-called democracy and all this other bullshit, they shitted on y'all niggas, B. They basically told y'all that all the soldiers that went over there to fight for us or whatever, and basically died for nothing because the same guns and shit they was trying to take from them, they just gave them to all of them niggas.
Absolutely.
So whether it's real or not, whether it's theater or not, because I did look at it, and some of these Taliban niggas look exactly like some of these niggas that allegedly stormed the Capitol a couple of months ago to create this fake insurrection narrative that they wanted to pump.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Right, that bullshit. So half of these niggas, if you look at some of these Taliban leaders and look at the niggas that was on trial for that shit, these niggas look the same. So it's probably the same people, for all I know.
Absolutely. The same agenda, the same people, the same initiating energy.
That's what I'm saying.
He's good. He has a couple more minutes.
So ultimately, what's really happening, brothers and sisters, is that you got to be on your own vine and victory. You got to be out here and stop. You got to stop being out here following what these niggas is telling you to do, because everybody's trying to kill you. Everybody's trying to get you to take poison.
Or weaken your...
Everybody's trying to get you to weaken yourself.
Give up your children.
Give up your children.
Ask for help when you don't need it. Little things
Again,
that it's
keep sending your children to these schools. And even with the vaccine waiver, even with that.
Oh, something happened last night, and I saw
even with that
school bus and all the children on the school bus.
Yeah, they was keeping the kids on the school bus.
Let me tell you something. I know it's harder to sometimes, just admit, let me just rip the Band-Aid off and start from scratch. But it's a great place to start because there's no distractions. You can say, okay, this is what I have to do. And it's not easy because, trust you me, you know how difficult it was for the last decade at times to watch certain people that are rapists, molesters, cheats,
scammers,
liars, and scammers. Y'all keep giving them money. Their stuff keeps getting supported. It just made me be like, we're either doing something really wrong or you know what, we're not. It's just what they want us to see is only this that's being fed. Like all of y'all that love these fake conscious leaders, y'all niggas will pay them, put money in their pocket, still hope and talk about them in a positive light. And it's like, what more evidence can be given to you? What else do you need to see to say, you know what, maybe I made a little bit of a haste decision. And it's fine to admit that. But I watched people specifically give this entity attention just to take away the attention that my husband should have gotten for being smart, for being read, for having a photogenic memory. Like I know.
Found out this nigga Dr. Sebi gave this nigga bread to open a restaurant and shit.
You open a restaurant.
Like shit was really popping.
You had all the opportunity,
and
all this nigga did was pimp it. All he did was pimp these bitches, use these women, and again, y'all don't see that that's what's going on? I don't know why my eyeglasses are see-through and y'all's are not, but instead of being upset with the people, let me just pull out of whatever they want us to be a part of.
What we did
because that was
just
even hard.
We laid it all out on the Super Behavior Radio shit, so you could go back and listen to that.
And like, wow, if we do this, then our numbers will grow. But I'd rather have integrity and not align myself with something that I know is nefarious, just for popularity. And that's what I watched y'all give energy to. That's what y'all gave props to. All the hearsay, all the niggas that had no proof, niggas that still was promising y'all, talking shit, y'all loved it. Y'all lick it dry, you love it. And that's when I was like, I'm done. Like even in watching elder women put their children, put their daughters, y'all don't need no proof. That's why I don't trust nobody in this community, because y'all take anything. Y'all just love anything. You give your money to anything. And it just made me be like, wow, if I can see this, and trust you me, there was times that I didn't want to see certain of our female elders down with the agenda. But I don't want to lie to myself to not see the truth. These women will put their children out to dry. If it means they will be in a movie, if it means they can go to a dinner or a luncheon with someone famous. I have watched people that have written books like people that they know are pimps and hustlers, only because that pimp and hustler aligned himself with other pimps and hustlers in the entertainment industry that have gotten away with doing stuff. And it's really sad because y'all love it. That's when I said if they love it, they have to not be a part of it.
One other thing too is you gotta understand that anybody reaching a celebrity level, on that level of millions and billions of dollars of shit, these niggas is not revolting against nothing. They are the system. You understand?
That's why
these
they trust
so-called celebrity people, these so-called celebrity people that act
Something clicked on my hair.
That act like that, they so against this and they want black people to rise and this and that. If they are making millions of dollars and they have these different corporate contracts, you understand? All that shit is capped.
Because
they have a vested interest in the society that is giving them all of this money. And they're not gonna stop getting that money to have you niggas get free on their level. That's not what they got into it for. They got into it for to keep them at the top, you at the bottom. And they'll act like they want to help you. They'll act like they're about the upward mobility of so-called black people. But you mean to tell me you got all of these so-called black billionaires in this country alone, and not one of these niggas has done anything that you can see in your community that they have contributed to that has had a long-term positive effect in the same community? No. As much money as Gay-Z got, this nigga will never refurbish Marcy or do anything for it other than that. As much money as Nas and these niggas got, this nigga will never go to Queensbridge or for the bottom projects to do nothing. He's not gonna do any of that. Okay?
But it's
the people who do shit like that are the ones that you don't hear about.
Well, I was just saying, it's unfortunate that even in visiting Queens, I'm not talking about visiting the neighborhood that you could actually help. I'm talking about contributing and doing something of service. So I just laughed at, I said, oh, Nas's album, which is actually really good. It came out, I like this new album. Right. But I said, okay, his new album, I said, who gonna die? Did somebody die yesterday, tomorrow? Then 2 days later, he said, his friend died. I said, okay, I knew a sacrifice.
When I saw him in the hood,
had to happen.
I knew something was going to happen.
You don't come to the hood unless somebody going to die.
Somebody got to go.
And it's sad that I be right about it.
Right.
Prove me wrong.
So regardless is that, and
ironic.
Like I said,
Another ironic
is never going to be anything other than what they say. So they are not here to change anything. They're not here to help you. They're here to influence you to do what the master, their paymasters, tell them to do. And you need to stop acting like these rappers, singers, comedians, athletes, or any of these motherfuckers is actually there to do anything to help. That's not what they're there to do.
Some of them can't. Their contract specifically states...
I'm a be extreme. I'm gonna be absolute. I'm gonna say none of them can, and let me see who prove me different. I'm gonna say none of y'all niggas is here to do nothing to help nobody but your goddamn self. And if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is when y'all niggas need to be like, you know what? We gonna make sure the Duke eat his words. We gonna go open a community center. Do some shit like that to make me look stupid.
Because
I'm willing to look stupid to allow the community to be better.
And this is why I said, well, why you do a GoFundMe? You just take from the people and just rob. You understand that I could have definitely opened I know exactly what I could have done, that y'all could have been coming. But I'm not one to ask people for help. I'm one to say, let me create something and save my own money, because I don't want to be like these that don't do nothing with nothing. I can't ask y'all for no money. I can't ask y'all for no money. I don't want to. It's just off top. I provide my service for the stuff that I put out, and I receive compensation in that. Other than that, I don't have no website for y'all to go download paperwork and download this and then be able to put seals on it like that. No, we talking about that. You got to talk to me directly. And you got to have some sort of back and forth communication. It's not just some instantaneous, quick fly by night. This is how we get free shit. No, that's the problem. That all of these dudes that came out here, a quick way out. Yes.
All these dudes that came out here put you in context and make you think that they actually want to help you out of their situation.
Nah, they just want money. They just want money, and they be addicted to them.
Never.
To the point that I stopped doing certain stuff with yoga. But I said, a lot of people will just do this to get me to see them on camera and do the work. You don't always need somebody to watch you and pat you on the back. After you get that for 2 weeks and you have the principle, do it for yourself. It's just what it is. Like, I do yoga every morning, but that doesn't mean that I need to have the camera on me showing you guys to prove that I do that every morning, because then it becomes a meditation that's not just self-meditating. I'm gonna do the same. CordobaOrganics.com. You can actually stay on. I'm gonna get him. Can you sit there? You can actually stay on. I'm gonna go get our son. I'll be back.
Yeah,
so our website and stuff, but it's
so check out www.aseertheducateers.com, www.cordobaorganics.com, www.gumroad.com. Type Aseer the Ducateers in the chat and join to come up. But essentially, y'all, that's really the science, man. Everybody got to be under their own vine and fig tree, and now is not the time for people to be in situations where they trying to copy what somebody else doing, especially being the fact that none of these niggas really give a damn about any of us. None of them. We are all we got. So let's stop acting like it's something more than it really is, because it ain't. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it, y'all.
And CordobaOrganics.com. Oh, I also wanted to say I used to be able to get stuff out the next day. It's taking me like 3 to 5 days now because things have grown, and still getting them out in those 3 to 5 days. Also, you do get a free lip chap. It's unisex with your order. Oh, I have new cards, like new thank you cards, and I also new unbreakable bottles. And oh, just to give you guys a little whatever, you can, fresh basil, people put it in their food. Put a little bit in your pocket, your right pocket, your left pocket. You can wrap basil in a $2 bill to magnify your money. Also, put some basil leaves under your pillow or in your pillowcase at night. It will rid you of bad dreams, keep a lot of negativity away, and always keep you in an exalted space. So basil's great for people that have any Jupiter blockages, any type of blockages where they feel their finance might be a little bit off. Basil's great for that. Basil's really dope. Also, anise seeds. Sprinkle a little bit of anise seeds under your welcome mat. It will also really help with balancing some energy. Thank you, Amor. Some energy in your life. Also, what else? Dill.
Oregano. Keep oregano in the car to keep pigs away from you and shit. Like, that's an old school remedy. Like
Oregano shake?
Oregano shake. Oregano, you can just take the oregano seasoning, the old seasoning that they have, like the Badai joint, put that shit in your glove compartment. Like, it don't have to be whatever. It's just
it doesn't have to be a big thing. Oregano, and also, I was thinking of dill. I've been putting a lot of dill with my cucumber water. The dill is great for removing toxins out of your stomach. So is anise, of course. But dill is really dope because it's almost like a fat taker-awayer. Like, it'll melt down all the butter from your lobster and your crab legs. It's great for digestive systems and people that are like Cancers, Pisces, Virgos, a little bit of digestion stuff. We want to keep that flora really healthy. Dill is amazing.
And chives and water help you lose weight.
Chives and water does, so does dill.
And dill.
Just dill and chives.
Some water, drink that shit.
And I'm going to start doing a little bit more for those of us that I say like a little bit of things outside the box, but I still want to make things very tangible for people that might not believe. It's about, trying to make people believers and let them feel the benefits of non-shea butter and let them see the benefits of putting thyme in their hair. And red thyme oil is so much different. And also the benefits of just black cumin seed oil with a little bit of fresh marjoram and fresh hawthorn. What that does, like, a lot of things become more activated when you connect them with other herbs. It's almost like it's like their little cousin, and it just brings all the elements out. So again, thank you to those that have courage to make their own hydrosol and distillery machines and infusion tanks and stuff. I love you guys, and I wanted to tell people that I love those that have seen through the bullshit. I love those that know the conscious community wasn't just that.
No.
It's us that's putting in work and that have very low numbers, and probably do because there's a ban just keeping people away from seeing people that don't want anything except for all of us to shine. I really do. Yes, recognition's great. Yes, having someone in the know would be cool, but in the meantime, you don't hold your breath and you stay prepared and ready so that if that person does come, if that energy does come, they never feel as though you are attaching yourself to them for like the glorification or for the fame. It's just a nice marriage.
The real conscious community started, like I said, way back towards the end of the 1960s into the 70s. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't begin on TV like that. You know what I mean? It started with real people, and by the time people actually started taking videotapes of it, a lot of people have already been established as the staples of the community. People like Brother Daoud, Bobby Hemmett, C. Freeman L., Delbert Blair, Stephen Coakley, Khalid Muhammad, Francis Quest Wilson,
yes, there we go.
Jewel Pookrum, Eloise Haig, so many. Myra Shearer L,
Bless the Dead.
Brother Bobby L, there's a lot of people that have come through and have Dr. Laila Africa, Dr.
Oh my
Sadie.
gosh. Yeah, Laila. Oh, of course.
Laila Africa, Dr. Sadie.
And again, everything in due time. Like,
so when I be watching these fake estheticians and these fake like young conscious 21-year-old niggas that's all went to institutions to basically be certified in the wrong way and what chemicals are and how chemicals are better than natural stuff like that. And when I see them do all of they skin peeling and they abrasions and they talking about the dermalextoline and all of this bullshit, like these are the people, these are the young sisters.
You're so cute.
These are the young sisters and brothers who have been totally duped and have been totally become basically like little cufflinks
like
for the shirt of Satan. They cufflinks on the shirt of Satan, and they out here basically pumping shit like it's more important to be semi-natural than natural altogether, as if these people who don't even bathe, you understand? These motherfuckers don't even bathe.
Or wear deodorant.
Don't even
I don't
bathe.
even know.
These are the people that are
Thank
creating.
God I have mine on
How
now.
is it that people that don't bathe, these are the niggas you going to for soap. These are the people you going to for perfume. These are the people they going to for all types of
because they cover everything
body
up,
stuff or whatever. And that's why it's nothing but preservatives in it, because it's not real cleansing material. The only way that you could really have real stuff like that and to be really clean is to really clean yourself. And if you really want to clean yourself, do it with some. You would never wash yourself with an infested rag. You know what I'm saying? But again,
and a lot of people even leave their rags. Man, just take a little bit of time. The
Take
same
time,
amount of
man.
time y'all take to clean y'all sneakers.
Take
and
time,
you know,
bro.
brothers take to clean their sneakers and women take to do their nails. Even right now, I carry a nail file because my nails are all natural. I don't have tips. I don't get them done. Do you know why? I don't like, if I have to take off my gloves after I'm working, it peels a lot off. Also, I like using my fingers to test stuff, so I don't want any enamel to get into anything.
You don't want to destroy your nail
I
bed.
don't like my nail bed to become thin or weaken. As soon as I put clear nail polish or get my nails done, that's when my nails will break, because it's altering your natural nail bed. Yeah, you can do a little clear, a little harder, for a little shine, but real healthy nails, I'm very grateful for just juicing, because that juicing, those real vitamin B, C, the D, the chlorella, the spirulina, you can get all that from just a straight kale, ginger, proper juice. Kale, ginger, a little bit of lemon. Every day though, we gotta do this y'all saw me drinking my lemon peel and my grapefruit peel.
Quinine.
And that's actually, I didn't add any grape seed, I didn't add anything
That's
to
that
it.
natural quinine right
So
there.
I drink like 2 of those a day because I know my belly needs it and it's great. We out of here. Cordoba'Organics.com, AseerTheDucateers.com, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.